my soul. God is so good. Feeling good down in my soul. God is so good. Feeling good down in my soul. God is so good. My God is so good to me. In my time of trouble, I sing, God is so good. In my time of trouble, I sing, God is so good. In my time of trouble, I sing, God is so good. My God is so good to me. When the day is over, I sing, God is so good. When the day is over, I sing, God is so good. When the day is over, I sing, God is so good. My God is so good to me. Just that last one again. My God is so good to me. One more time. My God is so good to me. All right. We have another one.
We sure do.
You want to stand up and join us?
They do.
And
Carrie.
sing
They
out.
Really do.
You can do it.
The song I'm Alive in the Spirit of God.
Alive with the Spirit of God. I am 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 alive, y'all. Alive with the Spirit of God.
All right, now sing it out loud.
Alive with the Spirit of God. I am 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 alive, y'all. Alive with the Spirit of God. All right, now take some time and say hello to the people around you.
All right, we're going to sing together and break it down now. So I'm going to hear you out. Here we go.
Alive with the Spirit of God. I am 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 alive, y'all. Alive with the Spirit of God. Alive with the Spirit of God. I am 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 alive, y'all. Alive with the Spirit of God. I am alive, y'all. Alive with the Spirit of God. I am alive, y'all. Alive with the Spirit of
That microphone. I am alive. Are you? Yeah. Boy, that felt really good this morning. What a great day to be alive. Isn't it gorgeous out there? The rain is gone. Yippee. My name is Judy Chapman, and I am your assistant minister. And I am so grateful and happy that you are all here this morning on this beautiful Sunday morning. This is a trans-denominational center, and it just simply means that you are welcome. Wherever you've been, wherever you're going, whatever you do, you are welcome at this center. We believe in everything. believe. I believe. I believe in everything. So, and we respect and we honor all paths, all religions, all faiths, all cultures. So, welcome home, everyone. Welcome home. We're going to start the service with the flames of faith. We perform this ceremony to promote the universal consciousness of life, which acknowledges that all people, all faith, all sentient beings come from the one great universal presence that we call spirit. Fundamental to this truth is the unifying nature of all religious thought and experience, which we honor here today. We light the candle for the Tao, honoring the universal path of harmony and equilibrium, the natural way. We light the candle for the shamanic traditions, honoring the beliefs and the practices of all indigenous peoples, the way of primal spirituality. We light the candle for Hinduism, honoring the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. We light the candle for Judaism, honoring the ethical path of living by sacred law. We light the candle for all forms of Buddhism, honoring the Four Noble Truths and the path of compassion. We light the candle for all forms of Christianity, honoring that Christ consciousness as a path of love. We light the candle for all forms of Islam, honoring the path of compliance with the will of God as the highest calling. We light the candle for the universalistic religion of Baha'i, honoring the path of unity and the path of peace. We light the candle for all forms of new thought, honoring the metaphysical path of mental healing through the practice of universal spiritual principles. And as our practitioner, Patrick Freeman, lights that last candle, let it represent the path that brought you to this service this morning. And now please join me in 2 minutes of sacred silence.
I give thanks. Today I practice thanking the infinite power within for all life, beauty, people, and things. I practice giving thanks until it is my automatic response to life. In turn, it becomes a power for good in my life. Whatever situations I face this day, I bless the opportunity to see only the good that is in the midst of all outward appearances. In practicing the truth always sets me free to accept the good which is mine by divine right of consciousness. I give thanks for my wealth of richness in spirit and my identifying with the universal oneness which is the master giver. Join with me in saying, and so it is. Oops, here we go. Join with me, one global vision. What we see, a world that works for all, where all life is honored as expressions of the divine, where kindship, all life prospers, where spiritual guidance is valued, and where there is peace, harmony, and justice for all. Today's affirmation: let my gentleness reveal my giant self. And so it is.
Thank you, Patrick. Now I'm delighted to welcome to the platform our beloved Alan Dale.
Your gentleness is showing. That's today's talk. And what better way than to see the beauty around us in the world? What a wonderful world.
I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom for me and for you. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world.
I see skies of blue and clouds of white, the bright blessed days and the dark sacred night. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world.
The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky,
are also on the faces of the people going by.
I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. I hear babies cry, I watch them grow. They'll learn much more than I'll ever know. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world.
The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky,
Are also on the faces of the people going by.
I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do?
They're really saying, babies cry. I watch them grow. They'll learn much more than I'll ever know. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Yes, I think to myself, what a wonderful world.
Thank you. That was wonderful. I'm going to borrow your podium for a minute. Bring it on out here. Yep, don't worry. I won't go far with it, okay, Rick? Let's give him another hand. That was beautiful. Who doesn't love that song? Whew. Good morning. My name is Reverend Alice Reid, and I am the spiritual leader here, and I'm happy to greet you with Grand Rising, because that is our theme all year. We're looking at this idea of rising up in a grand way. And so we have borrowed that wonderful Caribbean morning greeting of Grand Rising. We have a lot of wonderful things planned for you this month. We have if you remember, Oh My God Productions with Melissa Felipe and Z Egloff. They will be here in 2 weeks. Yeah, I'm really excited to have them here. They'll not only be doing the talk and the music on Sunday, but they're offering a wonderful workshop on Saturday, the Enneagram Experience. And if you're not familiar with the Enneagram, it's actually a system of self-awareness and spiritual growth that was developed in the early 1900s by George Gurdjieff. And he developed this system of 9 types of individuals called the Enneagram, and it combines spirituality and psychology and cosmology into one model so that we can learn more about ourselves. We can begin to heighten our self-awareness. And it also helps us in the meta. It also helps us when we are learning how to work with each other. I've been working with an Enneagram coach myself. I am a 7. How many are familiar with the Enneagram? Great. So not too many of you. I encourage you, if you're not familiar with the Enneagram, Google it. Look at the different types. We're highlighting different types in our newsletter each week. Pam's picking a different type out and sending that so that we can get a little more familiar with this. And I think it'll be a great opportunity for us to be greater peacemakers. That would be the 9 personality type. But in having a greater understanding of how we see the world and how others see the world, and then knowing our types, we can begin to connect at a deeper level. We can begin to have a greater understanding, and we can begin to, or actually continue our spiritual growth. So I encourage you to sign up for that workshop. I think it will be really powerful. The different types, I was going to say one more thing about it. The different types there are 9 personality types, and they're grouped into 3 different categories. The first category is a center of intelligence of instinct. So 3 of those types really use their instinctual intelligence to walk around in the world and relate to others. The second center of intelligence is heart intelligence, and those people really use their heart to relate to others and express themselves. And then the third center of intelligence is thinking. And what I found out from doing my own investigation is that as a type 7, before I did this investigation and this work, I really thought I was a heart type. I really thought my center of intelligence was in my heart, and that's how I was relating to other people. But what I've learned is that as a enthusiastic visionary, that I really feel with my mind and thinking. And by learning this, I have been becoming more aware of my feelings. And I've had to slow down, and I've had to be gentle with myself so that I can feel those feelings that I prefer to think through as opposed to feel through. And that's my segue into our talk this month, the whole topic, which is gentleness. We're looking at giant gentleness, the power of gentleness to shift things, to approach things, to be more mindful. In the Native American traditions, the deer is seen as the symbol of gentleness. Can you see that? Yeah. And so there's in my medicine cards deck, I was looking at the definition for the deer, and so I thought I would share a little bit of that with you. It's a little story. It says, one day, Fawn heard Great Spirit calling to her from the top of Sacred Mountain. Fawn immediately started up the trail. She didn't know that there was a horrible demon guarding the way to Great Spirit's lodge. The demon was trying to keep all the beings of creation from connecting with Great Spirit. He wanted all Great Spirit's creatures to feel that Great Spirit didn't want to be disturbed. This would make the demon feel powerful and capable of causing them to fear. Fawn was not at all frightened when she came upon the demon. This was curious, as the demon was the archetype of all ugly monsters that had ever been. The demon breathes fire and smoke and made disgusting sounds to frighten the fawn. Any normal creature would have fled or died on the spot. Fawn, however, said gently to the demon, "Please let me pass. I'm on my way to see Great Spirit." Fawn's eyes were filled with love and compassion for this oversized bully of a demon, and the demon was astounded by Fawn's lack of fear. No matter how he tried, he could not frighten Fawn because her love had penetrated his hardened, ugly heart. And that's the power of gentleness, that when we can inhabit that place within us that is gentle and mindful, when we can find a place within ourselves of stillness and quiet, well, when the outer world begins to throw up things at us that might frighten us, you know, the typical three reactions to fear: flee, fight, or freeze. Well, deer teaches us that we have a fourth option, and that is flow. We can flow with what's in front of us. We can be present with it. We can pause and not react. And gentleness gives us an ability to do that. It gives us some tools to work with. There's a great story from Aesop's fable about the north wind and the sun. Are you familiar with it? Yeah, the north wind and the sun are having a debate one day, and they are talking to each other about who has more power, the sun or the wind. And they see a man walking down a trail, they see a man walking down a trail with a coat on, and the sun says, "I'm sure I can influence that man to take off his coat." And the wind said, "Oh, no, I've got this. I can make sure that man takes off his coat." And so the north wind begins to blow as hard as he can, and he's blowing against the man as he's walking in the trail, and his coat is flapping around. But the man in the wind grabs his coat and holds it close to him. The sun, not to be outdone, just begins to shine its light and warm the trail. You know what happens, right? He continues to shine its bright light, and eventually the man gets warm enough to take off his coat and sit beneath a shady tree. And then the sun simply says to the north wind, it is gentleness that is more powerful than your blustery wind and action, your force. I think those are great examples of how we can begin to slow down and choose our responses to be gentle, because gentleness breeds kindness. It breeds mindfulness. It creates space for something to develop, as opposed to force, right? Which is, in this busy world of ours where we're always moving around trying to figure out what's next and what we need to do next, and everybody's, trying to grab our attention, and we're trying to see what we want to give our attention to. Gentleness actually is a call to come back to ourselves, to quiet down, to listen. One of the ways that we can experience gentleness is somatically through our body temple. We can begin to listen to our body when we're in a situation. If we're in a situation that feels agitating, where do you feel it in your body? Some people feel it in their belly. I feel it in the base of my spine. And our body can give us the cue to slow down and to be gentle with ourselves in situations where we would normally be very upset or stressed. And the other thing that I was thinking about gentleness is how, if I decide to be fit, right? I'm gonna take care of my body. I'm gonna be more fit, and one of the ways that we do that is lengthening and stretching our muscles. And I can go to the gym, right? And I can calculate the amount of weight I would need, and I can count the number of reps I need to do, and I can really push my muscles, which is pretty much how I do it, as opposed to yoga. Yoga is gentleness. It encourages us to stretch our muscles and lengthen our muscles, but in a gentle way, in a way where we are in touch with our bodies and we're listening to our bodies. And when I think about, of course, I told you I'm a 7, so my center of intelligence is around my head, right? So when I think about these two different approaches, I realize that in moving into a process of doing yoga as opposed to weight training, not only does it help me stretch my muscles and strengthen and lengthen them, but it helps me to stretch, to leave my normal way of thinking and move into a more somatic relationship with my body, right? And when we think about being in the world and how we want to grow, how we want to continue to spiritually grow, how we want to grow in our relationships, it requires us to do some things that are a little different. We've got a couple of little different things going on in our sanctuary, don't we? Yeah. If you notice, there is a sculpture behind me. This is a sculpture that was designed by our own Karen Meyer. It's beautiful. And when we went ahead and put the monitors up, we were able to display this beautiful sculpture again, and we can play with it. We'll put, we're gonna see what we like about the altar and change it around a little bit. But how did it feel to you when things began to change in the sanctuary? Because week after week you were experiencing the same thing, right? And then we started changing some things. The monitors. Right now, the way the monitors work, we have one output. So what you see is what people are seeing in the live stream. We're probably going to play with that a little bit to see if we could do some other things. My point is that we need to be gentle with ourselves and each other, as we move through change. A lot of times when we experience change, our first knee-jerk reaction is put it back the way it was. I liked it that way. Why are you being different? Well, we're being different because people grow, because we change. And gentleness can be that mode of approach as we experience change. We can be gentle with ourselves. We can be gentle with each other. We can be gentle with our body as we move through change. At the heart of gentleness is that wonderful deer energy where we can bring in compassion, and we can bring in kindness, and we can bring in love. And all of those energies are, I'll call them, you've heard of the slow food movement? This is the slow growth movement, where we allow ourselves to move into growth with grace, where we allow ourselves to step into new things with flow, as opposed to fleeing or fighting or freezing. We engage flow, and we do that with an open heart. We do that by dropping out of our heads and into our body. David Hawkins wrote a book called Power versus Force. And at first glance, we understand what force is. Force is the thing that you do when you're trying to shift things or make things happen or change things, and you feel like you might be going against the grain, swimming upstream, if you will. Now, power oftentimes has a similar connotation, but when we look at this idea of gentleness, there is, and the whole month we're talking about giant gentleness, it is powerful in and of itself. And if you look at the David Hawkins model for power versus force, the more we step, the closer we get to compassion and love, the more powerful our vibration. He has a beautiful scale. He starts with anger and despair and desperation, and he moves up the scale towards love. And so gentleness is the vehicle that we can use to begin to really raise our vibration of connection and belonging. I have a couple of other ideas I was going to suggest to you. I'm glad I looked here. There's a poet and blogger, Ray White, and she writes, knowing when to act and when not to, when to speak and when not to, is the art of wisdom. And gentleness gives us time and space to access our innate wisdom that reveals our truth and the appropriate timing for its expression. Expression infused with gentleness is generally more easily received and more easily digested. In gentleness, we're more likely to fully own the power of our actions. In force, we're prone to doubt as we never really felt we had a choice. However, gentleness can help us in such situations to come to terms with whatever situation we find ourselves in. It really can be a gateway to grace. She finishes up by saying, I'm certainly not saying there isn't a place for force. Sometimes it appears the only choice. But gentleness is becoming a lost virtue in our age. It is this age of must have everything now, must be perfect now, must fit neatly in a box society that we're living in. And I'm simply asking you to remember that a little bit of gentleness goes a long way. A little bit of gentleness goes a long way. And I'm reminded as I think about this force versus gentleness that I had the experience of, I moved around a lot. As a matter of fact, I moved 13 times in my life. And I went to 8 different schools. And one of the things that I found myself doing was feeling like it was urgent for me to make friends. You know, it's a natural conclusion for a child. My God, we're going to move again. I better make some friends right away. And so I would, you know, go up to kids and like, you're going to be my friend. And what do you think their reaction was? Who are you? I had the opposite experience. As opposed to being able to connect with people, by forcefully trying to make friends right away, I wasn't able to connect. I wasn't able to feel like I belonged. And I'll say that, even today I continue to have gentle reminders of this learning to be gentle with myself when I'm in a new area, when I'm meeting new people, gentle with other people who don't know who I am. So it takes time to allow the depth of relationship to come forward. And it doesn't come forward with force. It comes forward with kindness and gentleness, compassion, love. And so that's our opportunity this month to look at the places where we feel like we have to force something as opposed to being present with it, mindful, and choosing gentleness. And as I invite the band and Allendale to come forward, I have a couple of questions that I want to have you consider as you move through this month. One of them is, ask yourself, what in my life am I forcing? What in my life am I forcing? Look around you and see if there's a place where you're using force. And then, where in my life am I being too hard on myself or another based on the assumptions I've made? Then another way to look at that is, when I feel forced, does this make me more open or closed to others? And when I try to force my will on a situation, are people more open or closed toward me? Looking for those places in our life where we try to force things and where we can invite gentleness into the situation instead, mindfulness, and it can be really powerful. So this morning we're going to do a chant for you. And as we do this chant, I'm going to invite you not to get stressed out because you can't figure out the words and what are they saying. Right? It happens to me. I imagine it happens to most of us. Allow the chant to come forward and just bathe you in it. And if you happen to pick up the words, feel free to sing along with it. But just let the music carry you in a beautiful flow. And then when we're finished, rather than applauding, I'm going to come up and pray. And then we can applaud the way the Sufis do, gently, by wiggling our fingers. Let's try it, shall we? Yeah. Let me get this back for you.
Om Murmur Svah. turbarenia, Margot devasiadi mai, Dio iona prachodaya, Omor buvaspa, Tatsavi turbarenia, Margot devasiadi mai, Dio iona prachodaya, Omor buvaspa, Tatsavi turbarenia, Margot devasiadi mai, Dio iona prachodaya, Omor buvaspa, Tatsavi turbarenia, Margot devasiadi mai, Dio iona prachodaya, Omor buvaspa, Tatsavi turbarenia, Margot devasiadi mai, Dio iona prachodaya, Omor buvaspa, Tatsavi turbarenia, Margot devasiadi mai, Dio iona prachodaya,
And so allowing that beautiful chant to just continue to resonate within our body. We know that there is no us and them. There is no you and me. There is only one. One power and presence. A presence that expresses itself so beautifully, so uniquely, so amazingly through all of life. And so as we move through this day, through this week, through this month, I know for each one that we will be dropping into that place of gentleness, being the giant, gentle souls that are needed in this world to propagate love, to create more opportunities for kindness, to love one another deeply and profoundly. And so we give great gratitude for this space of gentleness that we are opening up, that we are consciously entering, allowing ourselves to be mindful and to be those beautiful, quiet expressions of peace. I simply let this go with gratitude and an open heart, and together we say, and so it is. And the Sufis applaud like this. Thank you very much, Reverend Judy.
What a beautiful, peaceful state of mind we're in right now. It's time for our conscious, committed giving. If the stewards would please come forward. If this is your day to give your gift, your treasure, thank you so very much. If you're at home and you'd like to donate to this beautiful center, you can go to our website and do it online, or there in the link there is a place to go. If this is not your day to give, please give us your blessing. And in the seat behind you, there is a blessing card, and it says, "In deep gratitude for all of my blessings, I place this card in the basket. I ask that these offerings be blessed, appreciated, and multiplied. It is my honor to give my blessing in this way. Thank you, God, universe, spirit." So let us say our offering affirmation together. My offering is my acceptance of God as the source of my supply, and it symbolizes my faith in the abundant flow of this supply.
Show me the way. Show me the way. Show me the way.
Your love
Your love
will light
will light
the way.
the way.
Show me the way.
Show me the way.
Show me the way.
Show me the way.
Your joy
Your joy
will light
will light
the way. Show me the way.
Show me the way.
Show me the way.
Show me the way.
Your peace
Your peace
will light
will light
the way.
the way. Show me the way.
Show me the way.
Your love
Will light
the way. Nam, 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 namaste. Nam, 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 namaste. Nama, 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 namaste. Nam, 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 namaste. Nam, 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 namaste. Nama, 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 namaste.
As we bless these offerings, we know that as they go out into the community that they touch each and every life. That each person that is a recipient, their life is better. They are blessed with abundance, love, and joy. Thank you for that chant. It's just beautiful. We're all just kind of sitting on our hands wanting to applaud them all. So I think let's give Dr. Alice, the Songbirds, and all of them a beautiful hand of applause. And also our fabulous band. Thank you so much. Thank you. Oh, we are really, truly blessed. If you're here for the first time, we have a gift for you. So if you'd like to raise your hand, we will have someone deliver a beautiful blue bag to you, and you take it into the bookstore, and you will receive another gift. Let's welcome our guests. Thank you for coming. You hear me talk about practitioners all the time. I have a story. So last Monday, I fell down my mom's stairs at her house and twisted my ankle, and it was this big, really, really, really big, and I couldn't walk on it. So next day I went to the doctor, and I thought it was broken, and it was not. It was just a really, really bad sprain. He said I had to have physical therapy, and it would take 6 weeks for it to get well, and I went, well. So I called Pam. I said, put me on the prayer list right away. I think I called her that night. I said, do it now. And she did. And we have very powerful practitioners. Sometimes when we can't see the truth or the solution or the answer for ourselves, we have practitioners that see the truth for us. So thank you, practitioners and ministers, and everyone that prayed for me, because I can walk just fine. And I have no problem at all. And it took 5 days, not 6 weeks, to heal. So I know that it was your prayers. So thank you so much. Our practitioners today are Patrick Freeman, Bonnie Charney, and Rick Dale. They will be available after the service if you would like to have a short little session with them. And all of their cards are up on the practitioner wall back there. If you would like to have a private session with them, that's a wonderful thing. We all need to have a little bit of help now and then. Believe me, I know you do. Okay, so we also have volunteers that every month, every week, every day come into this sanctuary, and they volunteer their time and their talent so that we can have an absolutely perfect sanctuary, perfect service. So everyone that volunteered this week, please stand and let's applaud you. Thank you for your gift of giving your time and your treasure. I appreciate it. Okay, so now I guess it's time for Clark Wilson.
Can you hear me back there? Okay, then be quiet and listen. Conscious Connection will meet today from 11:50 to 12:20. This is a small group discussion about the topic of today's message. Adult Sunday School will also resume today from 12:30 until 2 p.m. and will continue weekly for the next 4 weeks. We'll wrap up the discussion on April 28th. This Tuesday, April 9th, is the second Tuesday game night at 6 p.m. for Mexican trained dominoes. I know we're all very excited for that. And you are all welcome to bring food and drinks to share, or not. Dr. Christian Steele's meditation class meets every Wednesday in the multi-purpose classroom at 6:30 p.m., and that is on a love offering basis. Sign up now to be a host for the 2024 rendition of Gatherings and Gourmets for God. This is a program done in many centers in the spiritual living, in many centers for spiritual living, I'll get it, that is both a fundraiser for the center and a fundraiser that helps to build the community. The way it works is this: people offer to host a party and other people bid for an opportunity to be one of the guests at the party. The people who bid the most for a particular event get to buy a ticket to the event. By attending various events, you get to meet, mingle, and dine with new people, and in the process, you can make some new friends as well. Now, some examples of parties that have been offered in the past are wine and chocolate pairing, Maryland crab cakes, New Zealand lamb dinner, hot dogs and s'mores at the beach, a Color Me Playful, and a trip to the Getty Villa Art Museum in Malibu. I've been there. That's a great place. There's a link on our website and in the newsletter to sign up to be a host. If you are technically challenged, just talk to Mary Brogdon, who's in the back, or Naomi Cohen, who is here in the front. Naomi, please stand up so everybody can see you. This is who you see if you'd like to get involved with that. Thank you very much, Naomi. Appreciate it. Everyone is encouraged to register for the workshop on Saturday, April 20th, called the Enneagram Experience, which Dr. Ellis spoke about earlier. The workshop runs from 10 a.m. to 3:30 p.m., and the fee for this workshop is only $49. We will provide a lunch for a $5 donation, or you can bring your own lunch. We continue to hold a space for that fourth volunteer who loves children and wants to provide child care during the Sunday service once a month. Please speak to Dr. Alice or to Mary Brogdon if you are interested in serving the center in this way. As you know, we offer several opportunities throughout the week to connect with like-minded people for mutual learning and fellowship. Book study on Wednesday mornings from 9 to 10:30 via Zoom. Shifting Sands in person and on Zoom on Thursdays at 10:30. Coming Home Awakening to Spirit on Friday mornings at 8 a.m. on Zoom. Now, details about these and other activities here at the center can be found in this colorful brochure in the lobby or by going to the CSLCV Capistrano Valley website and looking at the very creative and informational pop-up video. I understand that there are people who are going to add another number to their age this month. So please stand and did we sing last? No, we didn't sing last time, did we? We're going to sing right now. Okay. I know someone who has a birthday in April, don't I?
Where's the April babies? Nobody? Oh. Reluctantly stood up. Oh yeah, Justice. All right, stand up right here.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday. Happy birthday to you.
All right. You guys ready? All right, let's stand and sing our closing song.
I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggles, no more strife. With my faith, I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith, I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God.
And so say with me now, when I feel that I'm in struggle, I meet it with gentleness. And so it is.